This is what I'm training myself for now, to see it clearly for what it is, without getting pulled back into it. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I want to talk about something that took me a long time to understand. For the past few years, I kept seeing more and more videos on YouTube about narcissistic behavior, and one of the reasons I became interested in them is because I had repeatedly dealt with toxic friends, toxic co-workers, and even toxic managers in my life. So at first, I was watching those videos just to protect myself, to understand those kinds of people better, and to make sense of the patterns I keep meeting outside my home. But what I didn't realize at the time was that I was not only learning about people outside my life, I was slowly learning about the environment I had grown up in. And that was a shock, because little by little I started recognizing the same pattern inside my own family. And at the same time, I also realized something else that scared me: how easy it is for someone who grows up in that kind of environment to fall into the same trap too, and continue the cycle without even meaning to. That's one of the reasons I wanted to make this video. When I look back now, one of the hardest things for me to accept is that what was happening in our home was not only about us. It felt like something much older was living there. My mother never really related to us as her children. At least that's how it feels to me now when I look back. She didn't seem to meet us as separate people with our own feelings, needs, and personalities. It felt like she was deeply living inside her own story. She was still carrying the pain of how unfairly her mother treated her and how her siblings were treated better than her. And instead of healing from that pain, it felt like she had built a fantasy around herself and around how life was supposed to go. So she wanted life to fit that story. She wanted people, rules, and outcomes to fit it too. And because of that, she never really saw us for who we were. The more I looked, the more I realized this pattern didn't start with her. I could see it in her family too, in her mother, in the women before her. It felt like the same pain kept repeating itself, just in different forms. But one of the biggest things that stayed with me was the way she treated my oldest sister. There was always pressure on her. It felt like my mother wanted life to finally give my sister what herself hadn't received. She had to reach certain milestone. She had to marry at certain age. She had to have children. She had to live in a way that matched my mother's idea of how life should have gone. And when that didn't happen, it was treated like something was wrong. But what confused me even more was, when life did give my sister something, I could hear my mother's jealousy very clearly. Instead of being happy for her, she would talk about how badly she had wanted that same thing for herself and how my sister got it. And that was one of the first moments that made me question everything. Because this was the same person who kept talking day and night about how miserable my sister was, how unlucky she was, and how badly life treated her. So how could she be so jealous when something finally went well for her? And it didn't stop there. She also tried to make me jealous of my own sister. She kept repeating the same ideas again and again, almost like she wanted to plant that feeling inside me too. Like she needed me to agree with her version of reality. And at some point, I did start repeating it. At some point in my childhood, I started saying that yes, my sister was the reason we were living in pain every day. Not my mother's fantasy, not the pressure she created, not the full story she was forcing onto all of us. And when I look back at that now, I can see how deeply those ideas had entered me. That is how strong this kind of family influence can be. A child can slowly begin to speak from the parents' distorted reality instead of their own. And this is one of the clearest things I understand now. A narcissistic parent may not relate to a child as a full person. They relate to the child as a role, a mirror, a symbol, something that carries meaning for them. That understanding also helped me see why I never felt truly heard. Whenever I tried to speak about something personal or painful, it somehow came back to her childhood, her pain, her struggles. So even when I was speaking, I was disappearing. There was also another layer I cannot ignore, and that is how being female felt inside this family. Girls carried more blame, more pressure, more control, and more emotional pain. I felt it. My sisters lived it, and I could see it in the way other women in the family were treated. At the same time, the boys were often treated with more softness and more visible love, simply because they were male. But I also want to be fair and say this. No one was really treated fairly in this family. Everyone was living inside prepared scenarios made by different people in the family. A lot depend on luck and on which part of the scenario you happened to be in that day. That's why I say our family never really existed as a real family in the emotional sense. We were standing there in the present, but we were being seen through all their wounds, all their pain, and all their unfinished stories. That realization is painful, but it also gave me clarity, because once you begin to see that you were placed inside a rule, you can slowly begin to separate yourself from it. You can stop measuring your worth by the way you were treated. And for me, that recognition was the beginning of healing. And when I look at it now, I can also see that she's still living in that story even now. She's still inside it. And I think this is a part of how I am learning to make peace with everything. This is what I'm training myself for now, to see it clearly for what it is, without getting pulled back into it. And honestly, this is also what helped me stop blaming her the way I used to. Not because what happened was okay, but because I can now see how deeply trapped she is in her own unresolved story. At the same time, not blaming her doesn't mean I can safely be in contact with her. For me, distance is still necessary, not from hate, but from self-protection. It is safer for me mentally and emotionally. And I think both things can be true at the same time. I can understand her more and blame her less, while also accepting that contact with her is not healthy for me. I recorded this video because I want to help break down this family pattern so you can maybe recognize it more clearly in your own life, because recognition is the first real step toward healing. And if any part of this helped you understand your own experience a little more clearly, then I'm really glad. If you think this video could help someone else, feel free to send it to them. Thank you for watching. I wish you a peaceful day or a peaceful night wherever you are, and I truly wish you healing. Love you guys, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.